Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos. So Manchester United have got until 5 p.m. Today to find an adequate replacement for Romelu Lukaku. Now obviously as it did get confirmed yesterday, Lukaku of course has obviously now completed his move to Inter Milan. I don't think it's been officially announced as yet, but reports came out yesterday saying that we'd accepted Inter Milan's third bid for Romelu Lukaku, and I think they have got him for around £72 million, including add-ons. These different prices quoted out in different media outlets. Some say it's £72 million including add-ons, some saying it's £77 million including add-ons, and some are saying it's £73 million including add-ons. But either way, Manchester United have accepted this current bid now. I do believe the early hours of this morning that Romelu Lukaku and his agent had flown out to Milan for obviously Lukaku to obviously complete his current medical ahead of his proposed move to Inter Milan. So we do know for the entirety of the summer anyway, that obviously Inter Milan have obviously been in for Romelu Lukaku. Obviously before this third bid was accepted, Inter Milan had two previous bids turned down. They had a £54 million bid turned down a couple of weeks ago. I think they recently also had a £68 million bid currently turned down, because we notified Inter Milan for the majority of the summer that we wanted around 75 or 80 million pounds. So basically we said we was looking to recoup the money that we did pay for him from Everton a couple of years ago, but for the majority of the summer Inter Milan were struggling to meet that current valuation. I do believe Inter Milan at one point were under financial fair play restrictions. I do believe throughout the course of the summer they tried to offload a couple of their players to help them generate funds to meet that 75 or 80 million pound valuation and all that. But obviously now Antonio Conte has got his number one target in, because he did identify Romelu Lukaku as his number one target. Obviously Antonio Conte anyway has been a long admirer of the player, because obviously Antonio Conte, reflecting back when he was the manager of Chelsea, he wanted Romelu Lukaku at that point, but at that point he turned down Chelsea, and of course he ended up making the move to Manchester United and that. But basically, yeah, so Inter Milan did have two previous bids turned down before this third bid got accepted. They also inquired about getting Romelu Lukaku on a 2-year loan with the obligation to buy, but we did say we was only willing to let him go, of course, on a permanent deal. But yeah, he has now flown to Milan, Italy. He has now, I think, completed his medical and that, but he did confirm yesterday that Lukaku's agent, Federico Pastorella, was in the UK, and he did obviously hold talks and that with Manchester United. Also, Lukaku has been fined 2 weeks' wages, I think of around £400,000, obviously with his refusal to return to training on Tuesday, and I think he in the last couple of days, well, he had been training with the Anderlecht reserves in that, and obviously that just gives you an indication that obviously he wanted to leave Manchester United anywhere. Lukaku did not make one appearance throughout a pre-season tour, according to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at that point. Lukaku wasn't fit enough to play. He said like he had some kind of ankle problem or something like that, but he is now at the football club. But I think it's beneficial that we sold him. It's also beneficial for the player himself. But we have generated a substantial amount for his current departure. But I'm very sceptical that Manchester United are going to find a replacement for him by 5 o'clock this evening. But Lukaku did serve 2 years at Manchester United. Obviously he scored 42 goals in 96 games for the club in all competitions. He was exceptional in his first season was Lukaku, but he didn't really replicate this form of course in his second season. But to be fair to Lukaku, his goal scoring pedigree was very, very good in the Premier League. He was well Premier League proven, and he still initially had 3 years left on his contract term and that with Manchester United. Obviously Inter Milan only recently anyway revived their interest in Romelu Lukaku, don't forget, because obviously there was a lot of talks going on last week about Dybala and Lukaku as a potential swap deal and all that, and I think me talking on Lukaku's behalf, my preference would have been Juventus over Inter Milan, and I think it would have been more beneficial for Manchester United if he had gone to Juventus, because obviously we'd got obviously Paul Dybala as part of the deal, but obviously with him going to Inter Milan, we're basically just generating funds from his departure and all that. But obviously for that swap deal to have gone through between Lukaku and Dybala, obviously the deal hinged on basically Dybala agreeing to move to Manchester United, but obviously Dybala had turned down Manchester United. Now obviously Inter Milan did revive their interest, and they have had their third current bid currently accepted. And Lukaku's 26 years of age, he has still got a lot of years ahead of him, but I think it's very beneficial that the club have currently offloaded the player. And obviously since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended in anywhere, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first choice preference has been Marcus Rashford ahead of Romelu Lukaku, and obviously now we've got the likes of Mason Greenwood that's upcoming. He's obviously been assured more more playing time this season. Obviously, you've got Chong, of course, that's upcoming. You've got Martial and Daniel James now in our attacking line. You've even got Lingard there. So obviously, Lukaku would have found it very, very hard, to get in that attacking line. So it's very, very beneficial, of course, that Manchester United have currently offloaded the player. But I still initially believe, we still need to sell more players, to be quite honest, because these still problematic players in the football club that do need to be currently sold. Obviously now, this is the fourth player that's left Manchester United, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival. So Lukaku's now left. Obviously, we saw Ander Herrera leave. We saw Fellaini leave in January. We saw Valencia leave, of course, at the end of last season. But obviously, we've got until the 2nd of September, to negotiate the sale of players. But I think in terms of the incomings, I think that's it now for Manchester United. I think Harry Maguire is the last bit of business for Manchester United. So obviously, we've got big ambitions for the future. Obviously, want to get back to winning trophies, and obviously this is something that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to bring back to the football club. But analysing our current squad as it stands at this moment, I think it is good enough, for the top 4 finish. But I still don't think, I'm still very sceptical about Manchester United winning the league. But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's expectations, this season, probably will be to finish in the top 4. Maybe win some silverware and all that. And I did actually say our aspirations, will be that top 4 in the next couple of seasons. But I'm still very sceptical about Manchester United winning the league. But Solskjaer gave his overall analysis on this window, and he still says Manchester United are looking to sign 1 or 2 more players before this window does currently shut. Obviously now, I think our top priority will be to get a replacement for Lukaku. I think also we need to get a couple of new additions in that midfield. But obviously Manchester United aren't currently, going to do this. But, that midfield really, really does concern me, to be quite honest with you, because I know we've got Paul Pogba in that, and, when he's at his best form, he's one of the best midfielders in the world. And we have seen Paul Pogba at his best at Manchester United, don't get me wrong, but obviously his future still remains uncertain. He could still go to Real Madrid or make a return to Juventus, yeah. But Solskjaer's convinced that he will remain at the football club. So going on to this season, if Paul Pogba's still at Manchester United, and if he sustains an injury, we're lacking that creativeness in that midfield. And we've got McTominay, we've got Pereira, we've got Fred, but I still don't know if they're the long-term solutions for Manchester United. I don't know if they're the long-term solutions for Manchester United. They did well throughout pre-season and that, did McTominay, Pereira and Fred, but I'm still very, very sceptical. I don't know if they've got all the attributes to currently succeed at Manchester United. Don't get me wrong, they're better solutions than Matic, because Matic is too inconsistent, he's aging up now, and he's, currently too slow and that. So that midfield really, does concern me. But I did initially say, this is obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's for summer, and I did say we was going to find it very difficult to address all the problematic areas in one window. And I did say before the summer started that it's going to take us a couple of windows, to address all them current areas. But I did say certain players anyway, may have, reservations about joining Manchester United, because obviously, we're not in a Champions League football for this season. We failed to qualify for the Champions League, 3 times out of the 6 seasons, since Alex Ferguson's retirement. And But so we've identified quite a few players, who could replace Romelu Lukaku at the football club. Like I said, there's obviously recent reports now coming out about Mario Mandzukic and all that. Reportedly now Manchester United are back in talks to currently sign the player. This is coming from Sky in Italy. Their report said we're back in talks to sign Mario Mandzukic. Obviously there was a lot of talks going on about this earlier on this week. I think it was last Sunday, should I say. They said, allegedly that Mario Mandzukic had agreed the personal terms with Manchester United. It also said he had agreed a 3-year deal with around 6.2 million a year, which equates to around £120,000 a week. And it did initially say he was set to get a 35% increase on his wage, and it reported said a fee of around £15 million had been agreed, between Manchester United and Juventus. So this is what it did say on Sunday, but reports did reveal earlier on this week that we'd cooled our interest in Mario Mandzukic due to Dybala rejecting a transfer to Manchester United and all that. This is why reportedly we called our interest in Mario Mandzukic, and I think the Manchester United board have got strong reservations anyway about recommending him in to the football club, with his age and that, because he is now age 33. He's only got a year or two left minimum as Mario Mandzukic. To be fair to Mario Mandzukic, he's he's pedigree, is very, very good. His goal scoring pedigree is absolutely fantastic. And I do believe he's had a good career up until this point. He's been at Juventus and what is it, around over 4 years now. I think he's made 162 appearances and scored 44 goals in all competitions. I think in the entirety of his career, he's scored 188 goals in 476 appearances. I think he's provided around 92 assists. I don't think he's ever played in the Premier League as Mario Mandzukic, but reportedly now have identified him as a replacement for Romelu Lukaku. So do you think he'd be the right type of calibre player for Manchester United? Obviously, he would add a lot more experience in that attacking line, but he's now 33 years of age. Don't forget he's the player. I think Juventus did get him from Atletico Madrid, back in 2015. It didn't, as you say, when there were stories were going on about, Dybala and Lukaku and all that when they were still alive. It did reportedly say, we wanted Mario Mandzukic and Dybala in a swap deal, which would see Lukaku go to Juventus and that. And obviously, if that would have happened, probably no fee, would have currently been involved. And he did initially say last Sunday that Juventus could have included Mario Mandzukic in a swap for Romelu Lukaku and all that. But it didn't initially say we're still interested in Mario Mandzukic even if the swap deal did collapse between Dybala and Lukaku. Obviously now the swap deal between Lukaku and Dybala, of course, is dead in the water. So obviously, yes. So do you think Mario Mandzukic will be a good replacement for him? Can score goals, pretty good in the air. He's got that endless potential. His aerial power's good. His defensive contribution, that's very, very good. I think you can play, Mario Mandzukic and that out wide. But yeah, he said last Sunday that reportedly, he'd agreed to personal terms. He also did well with Croatia last summer. Got them, of course, to the World Cup final and that. But and I think Sarri confirmed he's no longer part of his plans at Juventus. Obviously, I think he agreed to move away from Juventus, but I think Juventus anywhere are open to selling quite a few of their players, because obviously Juventus has spent a substantial amount on Matty Stilic this summer. They spent a substantial amount on Cristiano Ronaldo last summer, and also they got Adrian Rabiot and Aaron Ramsey on the board as well this summer. So Juventus have done really, really good business. So I think they are open to offloading a couple of their players, to help them generate funds and obviously free up their wage bill and that. Obviously, they're definitely open to selling Paulo Dybala. But that's one of the players we've identified as a replacement for Romelu Lukaku. Also, there was a lot of talks going on yesterday about Iñaki Williams from from Atletico Bilbao. Now, to me, this seems to be a panic buy from Manchester United, because I've never heard of this Iñaki Williams, or is it Iñaki Williams, however you pronounce his first name. As far as I'm aware, Manchester United have never been in for him. All of a sudden now Lukaku has confirmed his departure away from Manchester United. All of a sudden, the rumours have started coming out about Iñaki Williams. Now, I do know bits about the player. I know he's 25 years of age. He has, I think, spent the entirety of his career with Bilbao. I do believe he scored 48 goals in 204 first team appearances for Atletico Bilbao. I think he's still got around 7.5 years left on his deal, because I think he's under contract limit until 2025 or 2026. And he did report to say Manchester United are willing to trigger his 81 million release clause. Well, there's two different variations really, because some reports are saying that his release clause is £81 million. Some reports are saying his release clause is around £88 million. But reportedly Manchester United are willing to trigger his release clause. People are talking about his electrifying pace, and his pace is supposed to be very, very good. Is Iñaki Williams, but I wouldn't say he's not. I wouldn't say he's on the same level as Rashford and Martial and all that. Is Iñaki Williams? Is he nowhere near on the same current level? And actually, he's older, because he is 25. He's actually nearly in his mid-20s now. Is his current player? So I think also Liverpool have been in for Iñaki Williams in the past, but we're seeing him as a potential replacement for Lukaku. Obviously we talked about Moussa Dembele going on the other week. We've been in for Wissam Ben Yedder before as a potential replacement for him. So who would you instruct Manchester United to bring in as his current replacement? But I'm sceptical anyway. I don't think we're going to now get a replacement anywhere for Romelu Lukaku. I don't think it's currently going to happen. But I can see the vast improvements in the Manchester United squad, because I was analysing the games, throughout pre-season. We do look much better in that attacking third of the pitch. We seem to be, we look better in that attacking third of the pitch, because last season, we lacked that pace, and we've got that pace now, but we lacked it last season. This is why last season, we only, scored 53 goals. This is why, last season we were lacking goals, wasn't ruthless stuff in front of goals, because we didn't have that pace, but we've now got that pace up front. You've got Rashford with good pace, you've got Daniel James with good pace, you've got Martial with good pace. I think Martial, should be our number 9 this season, because I think Martial, he can play well on the left, but I think he seems to be more effective in that central position, and I think, he proven that, throughout pre-season that. But Martial and Rashford anywhere, they can both play out wide, they can both, play in a central position and that, but we do look much better in that attacking third end of the pitch. But I do believe this season anywhere, the majority of the players, should be given a chance. I think, the young players will get their chance, like they did throughout pre-season. The fringe players will get their chance, the experienced players there will get their chance. But for me, there is a question mark of what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to do with the youth. But Mason Greenwood has been promoted. He's going to be promoted to the first team this season, so he's going to get more chances, which is good. With Chan, I do believe he'll get his chances. Quite a few Manchester United fans have said maybe we should orchestrate on loaning quite a few of the young players out, obviously because they may think it'll be beneficial for their future. It'll obviously gain them a bit more experience and that. And some Manchester United fans have basically said this, but we've got Chelsea on Sunday. Obviously, I think it's 4:00 kickoff, isn't it? It's obviously the opening day of the Premier League season. Very, very good. That obviously Harry Maguire should be giving his debut on Sunday. Also, I do believe that Al Wan-Bissaka and Daniel James, they'll be giving their Premier League debuts, which will be absolutely fantastic. So I do believe now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got an indication of what squad he's going to go with on Sunday and all that. But like I said, I do believe we're going to have a better season this season. But I'm still very sceptical about Manchester United winning the league. But Solskjaer, was actually recently, talking about our recruitment policy, and analysing it has been poor, especially in the last couple of windows, because we didn't get none in January. We didn't get our number 1 targets last summer. But the main factor is why we didn't get our number 1 targets last summer, because under the Jose Mourinho era, the board weren't backing the signings that I wanted to recommend to the football club and that. But like I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's actual preference, was at the end of March, to get our transfer business completed by the time we did initially, go out on pre-season. But obviously, that didn't currently materialise. But the board did assure that there was, going to be backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this summer. But obviously, this has been his first summer as Manchester United manager. I don't like the way the club's been run, for the last 6 or 7 years. Obviously, a hell of a lot of money's been, spent at the football club. 148 million pounds has been spent this summer under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think in total, 968 million pounds has been spent, in the last 6 years on players. Players have come in, and of course players have left the football club. And we've had different managers with different philosophies, and 3 managers have been sacked, since Alex Ferguson's retirement. Obviously, this is our 4th manager since Alex Ferguson, of course, departed the club, obviously, in 2013 and that. So we have been inconsistent for the last 5 or 6 years, but, we're still a massive club. We've got massive revenues. We spent a lot of money on players over the years. We've got now players on big contracts and that. So I did initially say we do need to sell players anyway, because these are problematic players and that at the football club. But throughout the course of the summer, there's been a hell of a lot of speculation about players coming in, and of course players going out. But I'm not happy with the transfer. I'm not happy with this window, really. I'm happy that we've got, 3 good players in, but I'm just not happy that we haven't got, a midfielder in, because there's been actually so many midfielders on our current agenda. So I'm very disappointed, that we haven't got a midfielder in. Obviously, we'll be disappointed as well if we can't get a replacement for Romelu Lukaku. We have got a pretty decent squad, but I just don't think it's good enough at the moment, to win the league or win any current silverware. But Solskjaer, the other week was talking about our ambitions for this season. He believes, we'll be aiming up 4th, up than 4th and that. But like I said, there has been so many players on our current agenda. But now you've got Arsenal, they've turned it around in this transfer window. They've done really, really good business, because with Arsenal, they had a tight budget, don't forget. They only initially got around 40 or 45 million pounds to spend. I do believe Arsenal are going to have a better season this season. I wouldn't say they're going to win the league out. They're not going to win the league, I don't think, but I think they're going to have a better season this season. You can analyse, you can compare Man United and Arsenal, and they're sort of on the same kind of level of Manchester United and Arsenal. I think, like our expectations this season will be top 4. I think Arsenal's expectations probably will be at least to finish in that top 4. Obviously, Arsenal have, they're the holders of the FA Cup. Obviously, they've won the most FA Cups now, of course, and but they've done really good business this summer. And I think there's been fundamental changes at Arsenal. They got Nicolas Pepe in, for what, £70 million was it, or was it £72 million, something like that. Anyway, and he's a really good signing for Arsenal. I think they're working on getting the deal over the line for Kieran Tierney, predominantly a left back and that. And I think actually, recent reports have said that Arsenal are on the verge of getting him. If they do get him, I think Arsenal are going to pay around 25 million for him, and I think he's set to sign a 5-year deal. Obviously, you've got David Luiz. I think Arsenal are going to get him as well. I was reading Sky Sports earlier on. It did say he was set to undergo his medical with Arsenal shortly. I think Arsenal have agreed around an £8 million fee with Chelsea for David Luiz. So they've got David Luiz in. Obviously, they got William Saliba from St Etienne. I think they got Daniel Ceballos from Real Madrid. I think they got him on loan. Who else did they get? And I think that's the signings there that Arsenal have currently made. So, yeah, they have done a really, really good business in this window of Arsenal, to be fair to them. Because, obviously, they didn't do really much in January, because in January, they were only restricted to loan signings. And I think they initially did get Denis Suarez on loan back in January. But, to be fair to Arsenal, they have done really, really good business now in this window, and they have dramatically, turned it around. You've got Tottenham, they're looking to do further more investment. They've got, so far, Jack Clark from Leeds, and they've also got Tanguy Ndombele, who they smashed their transfer record on, by the way, Tottenham. But obviously, they're working on getting deals over the line for Bruno Fernandes and Lascelles. So obviously, they're still working on getting the deal over the line for, Dybala and that. So Tottenham still got quite a few players on their agenda. I think, City, didn't they sign Joe Cancelo, if I'm right? I'm not too sure. I haven't really read up into that. But Liverpool, they invested well in the last couple of windows. I don't think they've signed anyone this summer, as far as I'm aware. Obviously, I think, Leicester, they've signed a couple of players this summer. And, you've got Juventus and that in Italy, they've done good business this summer. Real Madrid have done good business in Spain this summer. They've spent over, 300 million pounds. I did initially say, Manchester United, definitely, do need more signs. But Solskjaer did say at the end of last season that he's worked out our transfer strategy for this summer, and obviously, he wants to recommend young players that can come in and grow, develop and emulate and that in superstars. So, so I just don't think that... Wait a minute. I just don't think, Manchester United are going to do many more business. So, obviously, as I give you the update yesterday, in the news in regards to Christian Eriksen, Manchester United were in for him. Obviously, now we've ended our interest in Christian Eriksen because, obviously, we believe his preference is a move to Real Madrid, but actually Real Madrid's first choice preference is Paul Pogba ahead of Christian Eriksen. So, Christian Eriksen could remain at Tottenham, until January. He could stay there until next summer, until his contract expires. But I do believe from Tottenham's perspective, they'd rather cash in for Christian Eriksen, rather than letting go on a free next summer and that. But initially, Tottenham valued him at £130 million. But obviously, Tottenham are going to find it very, very difficult, they're going to find it difficult, to find a buyer for £130 million. But he recently did say that Tottenham had reduced their asking price and they wanted around £70 million. But we've now ended our interest in the player, so he's out of the equation now. Bruno Fernandes, I say he's not coming to Manchester United now. I would say, he's currently out of the equation. Sean Longstaff, we're still obviously being in for him. We've been in for him throughout the course of the summer. So I just don't see Manchester United, bringing a midfielder in. Obviously, I think we look okay on that left-hand side because you got Luke Shaw, who's very reliable at that left-back position. Luke Shaw was good last season. He won Manchester United's double player of the year, reflecting on his impressive performance. He's got Daniel James. He primarily plays off the left anyway, Daniel James. I know we've put him on the right quite a few times, but he can play on the right, but he is supposed to be more effective from that left-hand side. He's Daniel James. I think that's just basically it now for the signings for Manchester United. As I keep updating you about Paulo Dybala, some people are still believing that his move to Manchester United is still on. It isn't going to happen now. I think Dybala's closing in on a move to Tottenham. You got reports coming out a couple of days ago. It was coming from Damasio. He was a very reliable Italian journalist. He's reported on quite a few stories throughout the course of this window. He came out the other day saying that Tottenham have agreed a €70 million fee with Juventus for Paulo Dybala. €70 million equates to just over 64 million in pounds sterling in that. This is what it basically said. I did. Now, obviously, Tottenham will want to find an agreement, with Dybala and his agent over the wage demands. I think reportedly now Tottenham are willing to meet the wage demands, and I think he's demanding in the excess of 300 grand a week is Dybala. But now reportedly Dybala's image rights are holding up his deal to Tottenham and that. So basically, Dybala is open to the move and that. Obviously, according to reports last week, it was. There was a possibility chance he could have come to Manchester United, but obviously, he rejected the chance to come to Manchester United and that. So, reportedly, the fees being agreed between Tottenham and Juventus, but reportedly, the image rights are holding up the current deal and that. So, I think Dybala now to Manchester United, obviously, he's off. And I think he'll end up if he doesn't, he might stay at Juventus yet, or if he leaves Juventus, he'll end up probably making the move to Tottenham. But you've got Dybala demanding more than Harry Kane, because Harry Kane's on around what 200 odd grand a week, and that at Tottenham. But like I said, Tottenham looking to do more transfer activity, obviously looking for a replacement for Eriksen. The priority is to recommend a number 10, and obviously Dybala is predominantly a number 10. But like I said, we ended our interest in Dybala because he wanted 350 grand a week from Manchester United, and obviously Manchester United were refusing to give him 350 grand a week. But Dybala early on this week had returned to training. Obviously, he'd initially been withdrawn from training last week, until his transfer saga was resolved. Obviously, he'd been forced to train on his own. And I think Dybala, become infuriated by that. But I think it didn't literally say that Dybala's in England and that now, is it? Obviously, his agent was in England last week, holding negotiations with Manchester United. Obviously, when that swap deal was alive, and he held secondary talks with Man United over the personal terms, but obviously, we was, not willing to meet his 350 grand a week wage demands. Also, the agent fees as well was the stumbling block of Dybala coming to Manchester United. His agent had, of course, been in London last week, and it's a shame we're not getting Dybala because he's a very, very good player. He's in my top 10 category. He can score goals. He's got endless potential. Very good, agile player. Only 25 years of age is Dybala, and I think he would have blended in our attacking line fantastically well. And I do believe he would have been a good upgrade to the likes of Lingard and Juan Mata. And I would have loved him, to come to Manchester United, but he had reservations about joining the club anyway because obviously, we're not in Champions League football. Dybala has scored 78 goals in 182 appearances in all competitions for Juventus. He's still got 3 years remaining on his current contract here with Juventus, but I think he recently held talks with Maurizio Sarri. He also held talks with Maurizio Sarri last week regarding his future, and his actual preference was to remain in Turin. But now I think there's been a bit of a change in the scenery, so I think he's open, to making a move to Tottenham. And I think he'd do very, very well at Tottenham, to be quite honest, and it would be a very good signing for Tottenham and that. But the image rights reportedly are holding up the deal. But like I said, Tottenham are still in for Bruno Fernandes. They're in for Giovanni Lo Celso. Bruno Fernandes to Manchester United now, I don't think it's going to happen. But Giovanni Lo Celso actually has been one of Tottenham's priority targets, for the entirety of the summer, basically. But I think that's it now for our current transfer business. Just wanted to do this video to you guys to obviously give you the update of who should replace Romelu Lukaku. Now the latest news come out from Sky in Italy saying that we're back in talks to sign Mario Mandzukic and that. So more additional information we'll definitely update today and that. But like I said, regardless of who our manager is, no one's going to ever follow Alex Ferguson's legacy. We're never going to achieve what we achieved under Alex Ferguson, regardless of who our manager is. But I still think we're going to succeed under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Well, I'm hopeful anyway. You've got Solskjaer who's following Alex Ferguson's philosophy. He believes he's following a policy, that proved successful and that under Alex Ferguson. But analysing it, the majority of this squad is not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's, is it? There's only 3 players there that are currently his. But like I said, a hell of a lot of money has been invested into the football club. But I've been frustrated really, with the lack of silverware in the last 6 years. We won the trophy, even there, won the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal era, won the Europa League and League Cup in Jose Mourinho's first season and all that. And, it didn't work out under Mourinho, even though he's a winner. Obviously, he's a winner. He's got that proven pedigree. He's won stuff everywhere he's been. It didn't work out under him because maybe we appointed him too late at the time. And obviously, he had bad disputes with the board. He had bad disputes there with quite a few of the players. But he did spend a substantial amount at Manchester United when he was there. Mourinho, I think he spent over 2 years at Manchester United. He spent just under £400 million and that. And obviously, there's still them players here. There's still players here from the Van Gaal era. We spent a substantial amount under Louis Van Gaal era. We got 2 players in under the David Moyes era and that. And there's still some players here from the Alex Ferguson era, don't forget. But like I said, we're one of the biggest clubs in the world. We've got a fantastic stadium. Like I say, we've got a fantastic stadium, and we've won 13 Premier League, 20 all in all. But we had great players over the years. Especially we had great players in Alex Ferguson's generation and that. And hopefully, this team now can replicate what the team did under Alex Ferguson. But like I said, we have got a good team now, but we just we just need further more investment in the squad. So I'm frustrated that we haven't got Bruno Fernandes, because I thought at one point he was looking better in than that Bruno Fernandes was going to be coming in, and he would have been a massive upgrade in our midfield there without a shadow of a doubt. You know, he's creating the goal, his tenacity is very, very good. You know, his work ethic, and that's really, really good. So Bruno Fernandes, you know, would have been a fantastic signing if we'd have got him in. Obviously, he would have cost us in the region of around, what, 60 odd million pounds anyway, because obviously, you know, this is what Sporting Lisbon want for him. I think he's going to leave Sporting Lisbon. I think he's going to probably end up making a move to Tottenham, because I do believe his actual preference is to make a move to Tottenham. But like I said, we're lacking in that midfield, and that's something that's an element of concern. Really big. I've got a big element of concern about that midfield now. But we'll just see what happens anyway. But I just don't think we're going to make any more signings now. I think that's it. So obviously now we've got to focus on the outgoings now, obviously, and we'll obviously have to wait until January to focus on more of the incomings. I do believe if, you know, Bruno Fernandes doesn't leave Sporting Lisbon, you know, this summer, I think, you know, we'll be definitely back in for him in January. You know, obviously, we'll probably be back in for Sean Longstaff in January, I should presume, and we'll be back in for the targets that we've been in for throughout the course of the summer in January, I should currently believe. But yeah. So that's mainly everything to update you today, guys. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider a subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.